So when I think about why that city servants is such an important value for Roosevelt, I think it's something that's been part of our DNA from the very beginning as a church family. And I think it happens in two different ways. As a community, we are very intentional that we've been placed in downtown Phoenix, so kind of the center point of the city, and that it's not an accident that we are where we're at. And so there's a lot of things happening in our community that really require us to be a faithful presence in the midst of Roosevelt Row. We're in the midst of an arts district. We're in an area where we kind of sit between wealth and poverty, where there's housing projects full of life and children that are creating and doing beautiful and wonderful things, as well as multi-million-dollar high-rises. And so when I think about just the gift it is to be here and to have this property and this location, God has called us to steward it for the good of our neighbor and for the flourishing of downtown Phoenix. And so that comes in the ways in which we as a church family corporately serve our community, whether that's just being good neighbors, blessing Roosevelt Row, being hospitable to the homeless and the businessmen who walk by our streets, and different initiatives that we do to corporately serve downtown Phoenix and the city as a whole. I think that this maybe also applies more broadly throughout the city of Phoenix, where we really believe that God has called us to care for orphans and widows. And so this has shown up in things like foster care and walking with birth families whose kids are in the foster care system, to being engaged in racial reconciliation and being a voice for those who don't have a voice, whether it's the unborn or the undocumented immigrant, and us really beginning to get into the nitty-gritty and walk with our neighbors and our friends and understand their story and just be servants in their life. So that would be a value on a corporate level. Then on an individual level, each member of our church family is called to be city servants through our vocations, through our work, through the things that we're called to do in our neighborhoods, in our homes. Each of us have been given space and platforms to serve and to lead and to represent Christ in our communities, both through our words, but also through our actions and our deeds. And so when we talk about being city servants, we want to see men, women, young adults, children really equipped and released to use the gifts God's deposited in them to serve the city around them.